Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast that covers material from before time, beyond time, as old as time, or if you're super religious, no more than 6,000 years ago. My name's Matthew Donald, and each episode I and a rotating set of co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammoth, arthropod, or so on. This week I'm joined by the always lovely and always eager to help Christina Eilert.
Hi.
And no Jake this time.
Oh, sorry.
Lyra, the unofficial mascot of the podcast, ate him. Because she's a dinosaur.
She's looking pretty fluffy these days.
Yeah, she's put on some weight because she says, I got a human in me.
She ate a 180-pound male.
Yeah.
You know.
That makes me like 180 pounds and 5 grams.
Impressive stomach stretch.
Yeah. Actually, like 90 grams now that I think about it, but that's okay. 5 ounces, I guess. 4 ounces. I don't know metric or...
The dinosaurs sure have shrank, haven't they?
They certainly have.
They got a lot cuter, too.
They did.
Of course, I'm biased. I am her auntie.
Yes. Yeah, you are, aren't you? Lyra. Let me pet you. Will you let Christina pet you? Probably not, but well, come on. She's sweet.
She's still a baby.
Yeah.
She's just learning.
Anyways.
We'll dote on the bird.
Yes. So as well as the bird, I guess, what is your, I guess, other than Lyra, this is the question I'll ask you this week. What is your favorite individual dinosaur?
Oh. Is that from like a pop culture
Or
thing?
yeah, or like another bird, or like
another bird.
Or like a pop culture like I'll accept Big Bird.
You'll accept Big Bird, okay.
Or Barney, all the
yeah.
all the little...
That's a really good question. I think now it's not like from pop culture, but I really like those like, is it an emu?
Yeah, the big Australian flightless one.
Yeah. I think, to me, they're like most like a modern looking dinosaur. So
yeah,
I really like those, even though they really scare me.
Yeah, no,
on
they're
a personal
terrifying.
Level.
Like, they're kind of like modern day velociraptors.
But they are really cool in that picture of just like them and their head like looking straight at you.
Oh, it's so
super intimidating.
Yeah, they live in Australia. They've survived some serious crap, you know.
Well, which is funny because I spent 3 weeks in Australia and but at no point did I feel threatened by anything.
Really?
Even
No, you're just very brave.
The people were super nice. Like, everything was nice.
Yeah, I'm sure the people are very chill there.
They were.
Yeah, no,
They're probably some of the best people I've met.
I listen to quite a few Australian podcasts. They're quite funny.
They are. So yes, definitely the emu.
That's a good... my favorite is probably Blue from the Jurassic World movies. The velociraptor that Owen likes. She saves... the T-Rex in the finale of the first Jurassic World, and she fights the Indominus Rex with the T-Rex, and it's so cool.
I mean, definitely has that factor.
Yeah, but also she's cute. And have you seen the new one, the one with the volcano erupting?
No, not yet.
Because you get to see her as a baby.
Is she cute?
She's so cute.
Aww.
And you see the other raptors too. They have 4 of them, and they're like the size of puppies.
I'll have to see the movie just to see that.
Yeah, like you see like old video footage of them. Chris Pratt training with them, and they're so cute.
Does he do the arm thing?
He does a little. Well, one thing he does, like he tries to show, he tries to train to show them that he's the boss. At first, he shows weakness, and he has got like a leather gauntlet on. He's like, and then one of the raptors like grabs onto him, but he's like, nope, I got you. But he does it for Blue, and Blue instead just pushes her head sweetly onto him, like, oh, it's okay.
Aww.
And it's so cute.
That sounds adorable.
Yeah.
So how old are they in the later movies then, if he's known them their whole lives?
Well, Chris Pratt looked exactly the same, but that kind of goes into, they think dinosaurs grew up pretty quickly.
Okay.
So, probably a couple years.
Okay.
So, yeah, like Lyra here is only like 6 months old, and she's already starting to, have some sort of arousal in certain things, so she clearly has some sort of drive there already. And you're only an infant, Lyra, for God's sakes.
I mean, we're all tempted just to compare her to people, and we're just not the same.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
That's okay.
Yep, Lyra. Yep, so yeah, I know. Okay, fine, I'll get to the point, Lyra. Okay, so this week, what were we talking about? I forgot. Oh, that's right, the mammoth!
Yes.
We're talking...
Is it a regular mammoth, or are we doing a woolly mammoth, or are we distinct...
I think we're doing specifically the woolly mammoth. Okay. The genus name is Mammuthus. And there's different types of Mammuthus. There's the Columbian mammoth. There's the other mammoths that I don't remember, but the woolly mammoth is the most famous one, and it's obviously its type of animal is an elephant. It is up to 13 feet or 4 meters tall, and it can weigh 6 to 12 tons. So that shows how stocky they are too. Like a T-Rex is a lot bigger and a lot longer, but weighs about the same or less.
Oh wow!
So.
So a woolly mammoth could be a really good meal for
a T-Rex.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
if
T-Rex you could take it down. I mean.
Yeah, and also if he didn't freeze to death in the Ice Age.
Exactly.
Well, I guess they think sometimes T-Rex had feathers, but would that be enough insulation, though?
I don't know.
I mean, it depends if your feathers are built for the cold, which T-Rexes wouldn't be. So.
No, there you go.
It is an herbivore, obviously. It lived from the early Pliocene, which is about like 5 million years ago, to the late Holocene. For what it's worth, the Holocene is the one that some people think we are currently still in it.
Oh, really?
While some people think, and I tend to agree with this one, we are in a new one starting at like 1800 called the Anthropocene. Since humans have caused such a big impact on the Earth, it creates a new geological era.
Wow.
So
Okay.
the Anthropocene, kind of like anthropology, you know?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So if you count that, which I do, then Holocene is not the one we're in, but the Holocene is from the end of the Ice Age to whenever the Anthropocene starts, which they're still trying to figure out. I think it's like 1800. So
we did overlap with them.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We were with mammoths for a long time, and in fact, mammoths lived up to 3,700 years ago. We think so. They are like the pyramids were built while mammoths were still around,
which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
To think of that perspective.
Yeah, they were isolated. Like since the Ice Age was over, at the point they were isolated in like Siberia or like really high northern parts, but they kept going for quite longer than most of the other Ice Age. Megafauna is the term. The big creatures like woolly rhinos or like the giant ground sloths or the saber-toothed cats. They all died out well before the woolly mammoth did.
Are we going to talk about giant ground? That's so intriguing to me, the sloths.
Oh, okay. I'll whip up an episode. we'll do
I'm
that.
like, I want to learn about the sloths.
Yeah. Well, you've seen Ice Age, right? Well, that's a little sloth.
True. But he's just little. Well, speaking of Ice Age.
Yeah, speaking of Ice Age, yeah, we'll talk about the pop culture appearances. Oh, yeah, I guess in true the Ice Age itself. I don't know. Location. There's actually quite a few places the woolly mammoth is. It's in Europe, it's in Asia, it's in Africa, and it's in North America.
So there's only a few places where it really isn't.
Yeah.
That covers a lot of ground.
Yeah. Like, I thought it was in South America, too, because, the Colombian mammoth, but I guess that's a different type of mammoth. And also, I think I read the Colombian mammoth isn't in Colombia. And I'm like, why are you calling it the Colombian mammoth?
Was it discovered by somebody from Colombia?
Maybe.
They just had so much pride. They were like, Colombia, forever!
Maybe they think it was like a drug lord? That's racist.
Oh, jeez.
That's stereotypical. I shouldn't say that.
Who knows? We don't know.
But,
We need more facts.
yes, we do, Lyra. I'm sorry. I made such a bad joke there. I apologize. Yeah, no, it's... Well, I think what's really interesting about that is that it shows... even though this was lived so recently that the environment, that the Earth looked exactly the same as it does now, like continent-wise, but it was still in all those places.
So it went far back enough where those continents were more...
Well, what
together,
happened...
How did this work?
Well, what happened was... Well, specifically how it got from Asia to North America is what's called the Bering Strait. It has nothing to do with continents. It has to do with sea level.
Okay.
So, right now, the ice caps... We have ice caps, which is more than we had in dinosaur times. But because in dinosaur times there were no permanent ice caps, so the sea levels were a lot higher.
Right.
That's why you can find mosasaur fossils in Oklahoma, for instance. So, but in the Ice Age, obviously since it was an Ice Age, the ice caps were a lot bigger. Therefore, the sea levels were a lot lower than they are now. And this meant that there was an area that connected Asia and Alaska, connected Russia and Alaska. That area that connected them was above water.
Wait, is that what people talk about, like the land bridge?
Yes, that's
okay.
what they talk about. The Bering Strait is what's called the land bridge.
I've never heard it called that before.
Yes.
Okay. But that's how people crossed.
That is how
too,
people got
didn't they?
across.
Okay.
Because humans evolved in Africa, and then they spread all around. And then once the Bering Strait closed, they were in North America, and they would not meet again until, Columbus.
Right. Interesting.
So,
okay.
So, yeah, that's how the mammoths got there. And that's how a lot of different creatures spread around. I think it's weird to imagine elephants in North America. It's a little weird.
Well, we're just not used to it. They're in the zoo. Like, this isn't right.
Yeah, exactly. But... So, yeah, the described... I often mention when dinosaurs or other creatures were described, like when after their fossils were discovered, when they description, but it's undetermined, but I don't think it really matters because we lived with them for a while. Like, the majority of our existence, we've actually lived with mammoths, because modern humans evolved 100,000 years ago, and mammoths only died out 3,000 years ago, so...
We've been describing them for a long time.
Yeah, we don't need an official scientific description for them. Like,
there you go.
Like, I mean, we do have one.
We met them.
Yeah, we were with them for quite a while. So, pop culture appearances, like we mentioned, Ice Age. Also the movie 10,000 BC, which I think is a guilty pleasure of mine. It's kind of like a slightly more realistic version of 1 million BC,
which is the one we mentioned last episode, right?
Yeah, or one of the episodes where we talked about the dinosaurs that were just big iguanas.
Oh, yep, okay.
This is like, they use CGI, and they make it like mammoths and such, and there's like an empire in the Ice Age, which I think is a cool concept. Some people think it's Egypt because there's pyramids and it's in the desert, but the culture looks nothing like Egypt, so it's supposed to be an empire that like fell, I think.
Oh, but one actually that I can think of was that I think there was a Love, Death, and Robots episode where like they had that civilization.
Oh, in their freezer, right?
Yeah, and that was interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that. I remember that.
I think they were in that one.
They were, yeah.
I don't know.
I also have them. They were briefly in the Disney movie Brother Bear.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you ever see Brother Bear?
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it.
Yeah, because like it took place in Ice Age Alaska,
okay.
or maybe not, like just after the Ice Age. There were no other prehistoric creatures other than the mammoths.
Interesting. So they were kind of a
So
leftover.
yeah, well, like it was like these indigenous Alaskan people that crossed from the Bering Strait, and there were spirits and other things. Yeah, and it was an all right movie. But yeah, there were mammoths in it, as well as moose and the two wisecracking moose that they had in all the trailers, because that's how you bring the kids in, you know?
Right.
The jokes. I would have personally been brought in more by the mammoths, but as a kid, but those weren't really in the trailers. So, all right. So yes, the woolly mammoth, the unofficial mascot of the Ice Age, along with the Neanderthal and arguably the ice itself. It is a really cool, forgive the pun, example of how evolution can reshape a creature. Elephants originally evolved as tropical animals meant for the hot savanna and rainforests, but when the Ice Age hit, they had to adapt to the cold temperatures. So they had multiple layers of thick fur and bigger tusks to clear snow off of trees. Like their tusks were really long, much longer than a modern elephant.
Interesting.
And they curved a lot too, so it was kind of cool. They didn't quite spiral though; they weren't that long. There were no Tim Burton, unless mammoths, you know.
Right.
Famously, certain scientists have learned nothing from Jurassic Park and have decided to bring the mammoth back using DNA from frozen carcasses and combining it with the modern elephant DNA, to which I say, why? What's the point? There's no habitat that can fit them anymore.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Siberia, but I feel like Russia has been kind of weird lately, so the last thing we need to give them is a prehistoric animal to use.
Yeah, let's just not.
Yes.
Maybe a bad idea.
I mean, I guess it's better than cyber hacking or whatever or like bots, internet bots.
True.
I'd rather deal with a mammoth.
Some of those bots are entertaining, though.
I guess that's true. Did you ever see? This is unrelated. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but it's kind of funny. Speaking of Disney, you know, when they announced Little Mermaid, the new live-action Little Mermaid casting, and it was this black girl. And then of course there were all those racists like and some people were even like, mermaids can't be black. I'm like, mermaids are mythical creatures. They can be whatever.
Like, seriously, that's your issue?
Yeah.
With a fake made up creature?
Yeah. But like there was evidence that a lot of them were bots. That these bad comments, and then someone was like,
they weren't actually real people?
Like, there were legitimately racists that were like, because, you know, they're mad about everything.
But how nice to know that most of this stuff is just, you know.
Right. But here's the theory that someone has stipulated from this. The person who created these bots, Disney. Because they're trying to be like, look at these terrible people that hate our movie. It'd be a shame to show them by going to see our movie. Like,
that makes total sense.
Like, though. Yeah, these are the people that don't like our movie. You don't want to be like these losers.
Right, like, show them. Be, you know, stand up
and I
for
can
human
believe
rights.
that, honestly.
Oh, I totally believe it. I mean, Disney owns everything.
They do.
Basically.
They probably own this podcast in some way or another.
No, independent. We're independent.
Yes, we're breaking the system, guys. We're in a society. Whatever Joker says, I don't know.
Like we're in a parent's basement with a relatively nice speaker or microphone. Yeah, but it's not very clean though. I need to clean this place. But I guess it just makes me more like a dork. Yes.
So there's no habitat that can fit woolly mammoths anymore.
So let's bring them back.
Yeah.
Let's just make their life hard.
There'd just be a novelty zoo animal, and then it's really like Jurassic Park.
And that's just evil.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the only reason why I think they should bring mammoths back is to prove that they can, and therefore use it for other creatures that we've actually just killed off, like the dodo, or like mammoths didn't die because of us. They died because the Ice Age ended, and they lasted a little bit longer than the Ice Age, but eventually got to a point where they couldn't. There wasn't enough food for them, and it was too hot for them, so they died out. They didn't die by us, so there are plenty of animals that have died by us. Let's bring them back. That's what I think.
But how is that going to affect our environment too? Like we need to weigh out these, because it's like the whole you brought in snakes to cure you of the rat problem, and then now you've got a snake problem.
Yeah, exactly. And the rat problem was by you anyway.
Yeah,
so.
We need to carefully weigh out these decisions before
listen
we
to Ian Malcolm
this.
in Jurassic Park. Yeah. If they were in a zoo, it'd be really like Jurassic Park, and we all know how that worked out. We'd have mammoths opening doors and killing people. It'd be chaos. So. Also, last fun fact, apparently Thomas Jefferson, who had interest in paleontology, is considered partially responsible for changing the meaning of the word mammoth to be anything of surprisingly large size, rather than just the elephant. The first recorded use of the word as an adjective is the Cheshire Mammoth cheese. It's a wheel of cheese given to Jefferson in 1802. So, yeah, good on you, good on you, Jefferson, for keeping paleontology relevant in the everyday lexicon. Shame about all your slaves, though.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, that's the way to justify it, yeah. Nobody's perfect. Some people, are weird and collect seashells. Some people have slaves.
Yeah, some people collect people.
Yeah, some people collect people, yeah.
No, shame. Don't do that.
Yes, anyways. Okay, so now to everyone's favorite part of the show, I think. We'll find out. Where we rate it out of 65 million.
Oh, no. Well, I feel like I'm going to steal Jake's, rating system.
Oh, yeah. So, if you listen to the earlier episodes with you, we had, a sexiness factor, speed, stamina, I think.
Yeah, they were protective.
Yeah, defense
and offense.
Yeah.
I'd say probably could defend themselves pretty well.
Yeah. They were pretty.
And offense. It's not like what's the other guy?
The Ankylosaurus.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's not.
Clearly
it's not
a
quite
dinosaur
that
expert over here.
Yes.
Not quite like that, but the tusks have got to be pretty good. You've seen a lion and an elephant.
Well, yeah, even a modern day elephant's hard to
Yeah. And their skin is so thick. If you just add fur to that, it's got to be even
especially
better.
multiple layers of fur.
Exactly, which I'm kind of wondering how that even works. I've been munching on that since you mentioned it.
Yeah,
is it fur on? How is it fur on fur?
I think it's more like that.
Really thick fur.
You have really thick, really long fur, and then in between those fur, you have really thick, really short fur.
Oh, okay. Dogs that have a layer under a layer.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. Okay. Modern polar bears have the same thing, I think.
When you first said that, I was picturing literally a layer of fur
and then fur
skin,
on top
and
of
then fur, and I'm like, this is just
it's
not
like
right.
a sandwich. Yeah,
my creative mind is going a little crazy over here.
Yeah, no, now think about that, is kind of weird when you think about it. No, it's there's long fur and then there's short fur, and they're all within the same sort of skin. So.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Their speed would probably be relative to that of
elephants can't jump, and by that logic, mammoths can't either. And also, by not being able to jump, that also means they couldn't gallop. All they could do is trot.
So they're not super fast.
Yeah.
But they're probably really cute.
Yeah, it's like a big fluffy. We've seen Snuffleupagus.
He's cute. So that
is he a mammoth? I think he's a mammoth.
I'm gonna give him a 7. No, we were out of 65.
Yeah.
So let's do a 60.
A 60 million?
60.
What was it lose points for?
He can't jump.
Oh, that's true.
But then you get into that whole, like, asking an elephant to jump or a fish to climb a tree. Like, that's not really fair.
But, yeah, it's not their fault.
I mean, they can't run. Like, that's definitely a disadvantage.
I thought you were saying with the Ankylosaurus one, who cares if they can't run? You know, slow is nice.
I can be inconsistent.
I guess that's true, yeah. Lyra's upset, though. Lyra.
Like I said before, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, please don't tell me you own slaves, though.
No.
That's good.
Very anti-slavery, thank you.
You do collect seashells, though, right?
Fortune cookie fortunes.
Oh, yes, nice. Cool. I'm going to give them, I don't know, they're pretty good. I don't think there's anything they're bad at. I mean, they are bad at jumping. Everything they set out to do, they do really well, is kind of what I mean.
Right, you can't jump. I can't really jump either.
Yeah.
Are you going to hold that against me?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, you can jump. It's like, you just can't do it well. Like, they can't.
Oh.
And also, this is based off, maybe they could jump. I'm just basing this off of elephants.
The jumping thing is kind of endearing, honestly. So I'm going to up it to 65.
Oh, wow. Perfect score.
Perfect score. They're awesome.
Okay, I'm going to be contrarian.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to give it... I'm going to give it like a... Yeah, okay. I don't want to get booed by Mammoth fans. So I'm going to give them...
Oh, speaking of pop culture references, don't we have a Mammoth team here in Colorado?
We do, don't we? Isn't it a hockey team?
Sorry, we're not like sports people, so it just occurred to me that that's like a thing.
I need to bring that up when I talk about a raptor, because there's a Toronto Raptors.
Oh, but I think what is the Mammoth? Lacrosse?
Hold on, let me Google this.
I don't know. This is how anti-sport we kind of
Mammoth
are.
sport team. Colorado Mammoths is a box lacrosse team.
Okay, so
playing
it is
the national lacrosse team.
Okay.
Guess it makes sense. Kind of lacrosse sticks. You can kind of curve them like tusks.
There you go. Whatever.
Oh, I like their logo. Look at that. It's like an M, but with mammoth tusks.
Go Colorado.
Yeah, go Mammoths.
Except quit moving here.
I don't even know how lacrosse works. Like, what do you do?
We may have to investigate. Or science.
Who can be bothered? No, okay, fine. All right.
Back to the rating.
Back to the rating. Oh, that's right. I haven't rated it. I'm going to give it like a 62 million. I don't know. I only get ducks a few points because, not jumping. That's just a big slap in the face to me. Right?
It's a big slap in the face.
Like, how dare it not jump? Even though it might have jumped, because, again, I'm just basing that off of elephants.
You're, like, personally offended by the fact that it can't jump.
And to think the sheer audacity of these creatures not being able to jump, anyways.
And again, I will issue a challenge. Send us a mammoth jumping.
Yeah, because films were available 3,000 years ago when they died out. So
I want to see this video.
Yes. All right, so that is the show for this week. If you want to get a hold of the show, you can contact us at mattd@matthewdoncreator.com, and you can find me on social media at MatthewDonCreator on Facebook, at MatthewDon64 on Twitter, and MatthewDon64 on Instagram. If you want to contact either of us, you can. It could be either me or Christina or other co-hosts that we've had at that point, but we haven't recorded yet. But we will have.
They do exist.
They will
exist.
Like
the dinosaurs.
I'm going to record a bunch tomorrow with a friend, so they're probably going to come out before this one. So.
Oh, there you go.
Anachronic order, or however they pronounce that word. Anachronic order?
No clue.
It's the one where, like, it's...
Anachronous?
Yes, it's from that same sort of thing, where it's like, it's all, the order's all varied and such. Yeah, if you want to contact us, show us a mammoth jumping. I mean, I remember in the first Ice Age movie when they're trapped on these pillars of ice when the lava's coming in, Manny, the mammoth, jumps at one point.
I'm pretty sure he jumps. In the movie.
So but also, the squirrel survives getting thrown off several cliffs. So,
I mean, it's not exactly realistic.
Yeah. The third one has dinosaurs in it. The fifth one also has dinosaurs in it. I like
really?
that
There's 5 of those movies?
Yeah, well, they stopped because the fifth one didn't do so great. They were like, okay, maybe we're pushing this too far.
Yeah, that's too many.
Yeah. The fifth one was also really, really silly. Like, they're all pretty silly, but the fifth one was, like, the silliest.
The epitome of silly.
Although I can't hate it. There were Dakota Raptors in it. That's what they are.
And they sucked in with the Dakota Raptors.
Yeah, that's the fact they used an obscure dinosaur and they gave them feathers, everything. They even made them fly, which I don't think they actually did, but that's cool.
But again, not a realistic movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray Romano. Do we have a Ray Romano?
Everyone loves Raymond. Does anyone like that show here?
Probably.
Anyways.
I don't know. I've never really seen it before.
I haven't either. Okay, as well as that, I have a podcast about writing called The Ritwits, where two twits talk about writing. Matt David, my co-host there, sends his condolences for not being able to show up, except he doesn't give a crap, actually. That's okay. But, finally, I also...
I love you, Greg.
Yep, bye, Greg, or hi, Greg. whatever.
That's an inside joke.
Yes. But I'm sure listeners might get it out of context. Maybe not, though.
Well, when you have two friends, and they're both named Matt,
yeah,
you gotta name one of them something else.
You gotta name one of them Greg. It's just the way it is.
It makes sense.
Finally, I have a show, I have a series of books on Amazon, a dinosaur sci-fi, if you want to support my work, called Megazoic. They're available on Amazon for print and Kindle. Leave a rating, buy the book, tell your friends. I'm just keep rubbing Lyra and keep making her make noise, so I don't know, this is bad for the recording, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I think we should do our Ray Romano impersonation. I'm like, I don't know what one of his phrases
The point you brought up before I started recording is that he's a good mammoth because his voice is very nasally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got like...
We don't know anything that he says. We're just going to do like...
That's my mammoth noise.
That sounds like a moose. More like anything. Alright, well, that's it for Paleo Bites. Eep, eep. That's what we did last time. Eep, eep. Eep, eep.